Hello my disciples, Father Andrew here, back at it again with the character cross-section. Today we're covering none other than the Edgelord himself, Shadow the Hedgehog reincarnated in human form. The one and only.
My name is not important, Mick. What's important is what I'm about to do.
The antagonist or protagonist or whatever you want to call him, the main character from Hatred. For simplicity's sake, I'm just gonna call this bitch-ass motherfucker Shadow the Hedgehog. Starting with a basic summary of who this wife pisser is.
Shadow the Hedgehog's a bitch-ass motherfucker. He pissed on my fucking wife.
In summary, he's a misanthropic, I'm not gonna try and pronounce that word. He just hates everyone and wants to kill everyone. He has a completely negative view of the human race, evident by several things he says, not only his intro at the beginning of the game, but several quotes throughout.
I just fucking hate this world, and these human worms feasting on its carcass. I never thought it would be so easy to slaughter my whole neighborhood. I can feel their pain, their suffering flowing through my veins. It's like the most intense drug. And I need more. Much more. This train's going to be a big iron coffin for all of you.
God, the edge is palpable, you can hear the razor blades. But yeah, those are just a few examples out of many excessively edgy pieces of dialogue.
Oh my god, guys, it's like a razor blade in dialogue form.
But interestingly enough, there are a few references to the original Postal in some of them.
Only my weapon understands me,
being one of the lines in question. In relation to that, he's also a Easter egg character in Postal Redux you can unlock via a cheat. But regardless, an outright hatred of the human race is pretty much all there is to him, apart from one notable thing, and that being he completely despises politicians and politics even more so. But that's as deep as his character goes. There's no real background, there's nothing to really mention about him beyond that. But there is some trivia we can go over and theorize on his potential past. First, we're going to address the popular fan theory that he was a military veteran who's lost his mind due to post-traumatic stress disorder. And there's a good bit of evidence for this. His exceptional strength and durability, his tactical knowledge of military weapons and vehicles, the fact he was skilled enough in combat to kill an entire military base, and the fact that if we take a closer look at his face, he has a scar under his eye and just above his mouth. Both seeming to be from combat injury, because if we look at them, they're definitely knife scars. They look as if someone has cut his face in an attack, which does lend some credence to the military veteran theory, but there's no concrete evidence beside this, apart from the absolute shitty state of his living conditions. I mean, just look at man's crib, it looks like utter shit. Walls are unpapered and rotting, his furniture looks like it's not just second hand, that shit is 12th hand. There is a fuckload of beer bottles and weapons. Looking at the actual blinds in the first image, it looks like they're just falling apart. Everything just looks dirty and grimy. So chances are maybe he's just a mentally unwell loner loser edgelord who lives in a very shitty part of New York. Actually, now that I think about it, I've just had an idea. Maybe in the past he was in the military but was discharged due to his PTSD and was dumped in a low income area basically to rot away. His hatred of politicians could probably stem from that, but due to being dumped in a low-income area, not given any mental health support, that put him on a path where his mental health rapidly dropped, turning him into the reincarnation of Shadow the Hedgehog in human form. But that's just a theory, a gay theory. But regardless, another interesting bit of trivia that affects the theory is that he actually regenerates health with each murder. This, along with the Steam trading cards, caused players to speculate that he may be Death incarnate. Personally, I think that's just game design. And with that, we can actually pretty much just sum this character up right now as just being a murderous, violent, sadistic edgelord. One who has no confirmed past, and the most we can do is theorize on it, using environmental and behavioral cues and stuff to do with the gameplay mechanics. Which allows me to segue into talking about how this character is actually written. He is exceedingly basic and not in a good way. He is also extremely edgy to a point where it's just annoying, which combined with the complete lack of any backstory or meaningful backstory, makes him a very one-note, one-dimensional character. And keep in mind, this character is supposed to be the game's protagonist. In fact, the most character we can really give him is addressing his legacy. In the game's survival mode, it's revealed that his path of destruction inspired 3 other people to go on a killing spree. The sadistic outcast Widowmaker, the rejected former criminal, recidivist if I'm pronouncing that properly, and the delusional psychocop, who is presumably the way he is due to brain damage caused by Note Importance Rampage. These 3 somehow even having less character, so they're not even really worth discussing. And I gotta be completely honest with you, I struggled to make this video, and all the character stuff I have gone over is mostly just like surface level shit that you're gonna notice when you're playing anyway. The backstory thing being entirely theoretical based on observations. So you know what, I'm just gonna TLDR this character down into the few basic points that we actually have. He hates everyone, he wants everyone dead, his motive and backstory are completely unknown, how he has so much weapon and combat skill is never explained, and he's a one-dimensional protagonist. That's pretty much it. He's a pizza cutter protagonist, all edge, no point. You know what, I'm just gonna leave it off with this image. Goodbye.
Shadow the Hedgehog's a bitch ass motherfucker.